Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of AI Climbing with Sheikh. This time, I have come back with a sort of an intro positioning around understanding AI and how it's impacting us. And as you know, this is a really a bigger topic and many people have reached out to me via our channel and social media asking that what's the best way to start, how to understand it, and how to apply. And my all like a sort of feedback always been that the right balance between a sort of mathematic and coding view of the world, which obviously is what AI real is. It's AI in simple words is about maths, which you apply to your data, and that's it. Whatever other definition someone tells you, it actually fake or maybe market driven, right? And then obviously there is another piece where I always try to find a balance. Don't know be the code or a jerk world. Ultimately, how to make business or a commercial sense out of it, how to apply tech into a real world, right? So this is more like towards skewed towards the right, where we will try to understand AI, and as you should always expect, I always love to map some of the knowledge with some cool demos so that you can get these things real and feel it. And again, everything will be published on the GitHub as well. And with this, let me start. And again, a special shout out to my son Aslan, who had been driving this in the student communities and local councils. And yeah, we have been running some road shows, and he really took charge on some of the slides, which I will be just using because I thought it's a topic equally important to everyone, especially the use cases. So, yep, with this, we can start. Again, just a glimpse that there are two channels. The one which you are seeing online right now is AI climbing. It's more about mapping the codes and mathematics and research world to the real world on AI, and then the other one unpacking mysterious things. And today, our topic is the rise of AI and how it is changing the whole dynamics, whether it is jobs, ethics, and society at large. Again, this is a journey of Aslan as I took him into this path, but again, I will leave it to the other channel where the whole idea is how we are bringing teens on board so that they can really learn, master, and get some advantage with this new tech. And from where I always start, the field of AI is about learning. Forget about deep learning or machine learning. It's very simple learning, right? When we are kids and children, even the grown ups, how we can actually start learning, and then maybe how computers learn, right? So we all know, right? As kids, we are exposed to lots of data, different types of data, and then a society or teachers give them a sort of labeling of that data, right? Here is a dog, here is truth, here is honesty, and then over time the model gets trained, and we understand the patterns of data. That's how we basically interact with society, make our relationship even with God and people and everything. And that is pretty much the topic, how we are going to apply it to our real lives. If I just gonna start again, there are a lot of terms into this space, and AI, as we all know, right? It's a broader field, which is all about how we can make a decisions autonomously, right? Like making systems who can perform any task without our interaction, right? And it has multiple phases and tasks. As you know, it's about learning, reasoning, problem solving, language understanding, interaction with the environment. And now if you see everything about the data, and then naturally data science or analytics is the bigger piece, where perhaps something outside AI like the data visualization, data understanding, data processing, lot of things actually comes into this domain. And within AI there can be few other types of AI as well, but in our lifetime the ones which are very important, as we know, machine learning, it's a broader discipline where you actually get information or decision from data, right? Very simple classification of images or market prices, house prices. And then the deep learning is actually when you go deep and infer meanings which are not pretty much there in data. Just consider the case of Google, and when you type and it understand, so it's a layers of those intelligent pieces we called the neurons that sits in between. And then there is a Gen AI, which is again sitting somewhere within this AI circle. So AI can be Gen and non-Gen, as you can see. And by Gen I means it not only gives you a decision making advantage, but also an ability to generate something new, which is not in the data. It's more like creating a new idea which was not there in the original data sets. And again, this is more like the terms as I explained, and as you can see, the idea of deep learning is coming from the neurons or brains, and how our different connections are actually working together to infer a meaning of our life and purpose. And yeah, that's pretty much a very high level view of how you should understand different terms. And with this, again, we really need to understand that what's AI, and then what's the use of AI, right? So I always use it in a way that before thinking about AI, think about the use cases, because AI is great in solving some great problems, but then it's pretty bad in solving something very simple. And one classic example I normally give it with some of the latest neural networks, and the fact that if you ask a neural network that give me a great scientist picture who was in a left right hand writer and writing, and believe me, if you try to mimic and generate a picture, more than 80-90% of time it will give you a very good scientist view with the right hand data, because almost all of the label data on the internet with the the great scientists came with the right handed. And since the data is biased, I should say, the result is also biased. So that's a bit of clues. And um, how then normally you should try to apply with a use case, and there can be many good use cases, right? As you can see, there is a supervised use case. Supervised use case is typically like a guy working and going to a factory, and then he join a factory or a company, get 3 months of training, and then he learns how to work, and then he start to work, right? And that is clearly the task of the supervised learning. And there are many use cases like sales forecasting, risk assessment, medical imaging, fraud detection. Lot of things are related to classification, including compute vision in a way comes into this class. But then there is a lot of unsupervised learning. And if I say the real world is about the unsupervised learning, because all in the cosmos there have been a huge data and obviously not labeled, and men labeled it, I don't know rightly or wrong, but then how to understand patterns from this. For example, the market analysis, the customer feedback, the classification of text, detecting anomalies, customer segmentations, anything in medical records, anything unlabeled, how you can just get sense out of it. And then again, there is a reinforced learning and reinforced learning, as you can say, force, right? So the whole idea is there is a dog and bone or a reward on punishment scenario. Like the whole idea is like I give you an example of the ivs and all of those driverless cars. They sense from their environment and take decisions, and then there is a feedback loop from the drivers and other data. And if the decision is good, they get rewarded, right? And if the decision is bad, they are actually penalized, obviously in the context of the systems, not in the physical terms. But then over time these systems can become more intelligent than the normal typical machine learning systems. So there are a lot of examples. People are enhancing value and performance, whether it is in the marketing space or the transportation, fleet management, logistics management, and even gaming. You know, you see the Roblox with 2, 3 lives. You are running and doing lot of tasks. Again, the everything goes back to the reward and gaming theory, right? It's a very famous theory. If you have not seen it, I highly encourage to Google and learn it a bit. And this is again a slide, put together by Aslan. And here we are trying to understand different phases of AI and machine learning. And you really need to understand for the people when everything was on paper and with hands. So the AI actually was the calculator. Why? Because many of those paper or manual things and calculator can do those things, right? And then it can be programmed, as you know, during the last 50 years or so. So in simple words, Leibniz or some of the old Greeks and French were the first ones with the AIs and the data models. And if I trace it back to the modern world, the nearest example comes from the Alan Turing and the work he did to decipher the Germans' machines, right? And later on, he published a theory which we call as the Turing machine, and the whole idea of how if there is a problem and you apply it incrementally, pass through the machine, cycle, which is all the CPU and disk and data, ultimately you can solve any problem, right, by breaking it down. And that's the pretty much the notion. And with that notion, people start to work, can we do it, right, autonomously, like machine can do it without any sort of manual coding. And then the grade 50s, where there had been a lot of starting theories and some of the initial work on the IBM and some of the earlier forms of chatbots, not chatbots, but more like a chatting interfaces where the machines talk. It was great that time, the IBM and the Eliza, the work they did. But then there have been a lot of work in between, especially in the 1980s, where there had been a lot of work on the the washing machines and electronics and how we are going to apply that. And then subsequently from the 2010s, I should say, this is absolutely the era where we have seen that there are a lot of enhancements. So, a lot of things combined, the algorithmic world, the power of the computing, the industry appetite, the readiness of the cloud, all of those in a way supported one another. And then we see the whole wave, and especially the final wave coming from the 2017 paper of the AlphaGo and the Google, DeepMind people. Attention is all we need, or you can see, right? There is a huge momentum during the last 5 to 7 years. If you really are academic, if you are industry, perhaps ChatGPT 2020 to 2023 is the era. But in both cases, you really need to understand how this market and industry has evolved over time. And don't forget to say thanks to the people who have been working tirelessly to make it happen. And If you see the whole history in the context, you can really divide the AI into different phases, and then the first phase, which you are seeing over here, in the model AI, is the rule based or the systems approach, everything in the programming of washing machines, your micro wave ovens and dishwashers, and then we see a second wave of the Alexas and some of the compute vision and expert systems in this phase. And as I explained, we are actually in the third wave where we are achieving the perceiving and learning and reasoning of AI, right? And we know contextual adoption and generative AI are where we are, but then the fourth wave is actually coming where we call the artificial general intelligence, right? Where we can really expect these systems become super intelligent, better than us, not our companions, maybe masters. We'll see. Let's not get frightened and try to solve where the problem is, which is in the current wave with the generative AI. And now, look, if I see the AI and it impacts, then it is really important to see how we can make use of AI for better. And classic such examples is on education, where we can expect every child has its own dedicated AI tutor, right? That helps you to enhance your learning. We have done a lot of great work, especially in Africa, where society is much divided, and getting some equal access to the online education is not as easy as perhaps for you guys, right? And the whole idea is a AI tutor in your pocket, supporting you, what you are doing, challenging you, and then updating it in a way. And again, the cybersecurity and spam, something very famous. If you know, most of the banks, especially in Australia, are using a lot of AI to protect your transactions and again to make you rich. AI stocks, some chatbots we have written, which help you to make a good investment decisions, and again, a lot of data driven. And then there are some question mark on negative sides of it, and as you can see, deep fakes is the whole idea how people are copying your physical ID into digital world and take advantage of it. The people can mimic your voice, your video to your friends, demanding money and doing some bad things with your pictures, generating, in fact, something which is more real than you. And then again, the biasness and the fairness side of AI, and as you can see, the hallucinations and wrongdoing. So AI is everywhere, but AI is nowhere, because the thing is, if it is biased and the fairness is not controlled well, then actually it creates a lot of problems on the law and social scale. And then we all know AI is controlling us online and lot of gadgets, and it impacts our power to control and influence and behave in a way. Uh, And yeah, deep fakes, you really need to understand lot of things happen. People are using your videos and voices, and we really need to take it in a context. And again, a courtesy to this advertisement from a famous media house in Dash Telecom in Germany, and they actually explain it in a way better than anything. And I really want you to have a look to know how really it's impacting us. So let's take a pause for a minute. So it's all about how parents are sharing the family moments online. So we think we are storing memories, right?
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. It's me, Ella. Well, a digital version of me. Just a bit older. Amazing what technology can do these days, isn't it? All you need are a couple of pictures, like the ones you share on social media, where they can be taken and used by everybody. I know for you, these pictures are just memories, but for others, they are data. And for me, maybe the beginning of a horrible future. A future where my identity can be stolen just like that. Where I can go to prison for things that I would never do. Imagine my credit score being destroyed, Dad. Or my voice copied to scam you, Mom. Mom, I'm in trouble. I need you to send me money, please. I don't want to become a meme, humiliated by everyone at school.
Kill yourself, you fucking loser.
And I certainly don't want this. What you share online is like a digital footprint that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I'm telling you this because I know you love me and would never do anything to harm me. So please, Mom, please, Dad, protect my virtual privacy.
All right, so I hope you are making sense of it and why I spent these 2 minutes just to give you a feel into this. So, yeah, we should be more responsible, but then again, deepfakes, you need to understand that the use cases of face swapping and voice synthesis and image manipulation, wrong pictures is quite easy to do, right? All you need are a few high computing devices and to run. And we did some simulation online, and I will show you at the end, but it's really important that you understand that you have a real data which you are showing in green, and then a fake id which you want to create, and then you can convolve the two, right? So although the system works in a way that the end state is your target state, but by mixing your target state with the fake state, in between you can create anything and you can drive it. All you need to is to set some parameters. So that's something critically important. And again, in terms of image classification, again, there is a GitHub demo which we are using with Apache license. And as you can see, the whole idea and notion is in a real time how these high speed and AI cameras can detect it and actually classify the thing. Yeah, again, this is a image classification example with the neural networks where you can bring anything and the neural network, classify it, and it's quite good accuracy in a way. uh, the last use case is more about the recent AI cameras where the compute vision, right? Like it can really make decisions at the light speed, which is good, right? It can make the road safe and lawful. But then, if someone is watching you and making decisions on the fly, legally, lawfully, is it impacting my privacy? Because you really need to see that side of it as well. The safety and society is important as well, because as you understand, if there is a camera at 100 kilometer per hour, it can detect your number plate and everything, right? It can detect your picture maybe through the windscreen. Then you can imagine what else it can do. But the whole idea is, with the compute devices coming near now, not everything needs to go back to the core data centers. You can make it work in a very real time and with a very quick decisions in a way. And again, there are a number of few other demos we are working with community, like the stock chatbots and the agentic AI. And again, the safety and society part of it, it's something very important. And yeah, the whole idea is how we can work together to make it more safe and more responsible, and a world which is for everywhere. And that's pretty much the topic for today. Now I will just take few minutes to show you a sort of quick demo pieces of the work we are doing. And again, you can just google it, you will find lot of this. We sort of club them together. This is a very really nice demo in order to feel. And what they have done, they have combined two three standard data sets. I will give you a very easy to understand demo on a real code which I'm compiling on the MNIST, which is more like the digital's classification. But then go have fun, have try, and you will understand how different classification things and labeling things are working. And moving from here, as you can see, it's still running. But what I have actually done, if you see over here, I have actually plotted a headphone and titled Sony. And now I am combining this real picture with the fake one, and I come. So I will leave it. Perhaps can show you next time. It takes several hours online, lot of cycles. But as you can see the loss today. Right now, it's like almost one above 80, right? So still a lot of time to go. But picture tells you everything. I hope you are getting that how this is gonna generate new samples of the real data. And this real sample can be your video, can be your any sort of pictures, and can do lot of problems, both emotionally and psychologically. And go have a try on this. You can see the link. And then again, another example is on the classification. You can do regression few others ways, but classification is easy. Again, we are passing a picture to this model, and output it is telling, right, that what is the input. And similar process of the auto encoders, but something important. And then again, if you know about the React and few other languages, they do today most of the work online happens with them. And they are quite good because there's a lot of ready to use libraries and even the tensors, lot of things programmed in a way. And as you can see, you just load a picture like this is the one we did with the console, the local police. And as you can see, right, it can classify almost everything, right? There is a bulletproof vest, there is a neck brace, there is a mask, over here. And yeah, and go try again online demo. And this one is not very good, but as you can see here, he locked the classes, and everything you give he has to divide between these 8 and classes. So most probably a horse picture is good, which we are not. But then I hope you are getting sense out of it. And yeah, that's pretty much all about the AI and how it is driving and changing the society. Thanks for joining us today. If you like to become part of this movement, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and I hope together we can make something out of it to as well. And don't forget to watch the upcoming mathematics and coding view on how to make it work. Till that time, thank you very much and goodbye, everything. Enjoy your time and keep learning, keep trying, and tomorrow will be ours. Thank you. Bye.